Welcome back to another live and amplified indie fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we are back at it again with another basic podcast. Today, we have a very special guest joining us for our pancreatic cancer fundraiser podcast marathon. We have Bailey Taylor. How's it going today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. It was finally below like 80 degrees today, and I was like really enjoying it. So
Yeah. Where are you located?
I'm in Texas.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we in Nashville, these last few days have been perfect fall weather, and we're just waiting for it to either drop to like 30 or spike
Yep.
back up to the 90s.
Yep. I was just talking to a buddy of mine who lives out in Nashville, and he was asking me if I was coming out in February for CRS. I was like, yeah, but weather permitting. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
in February, Nashville, it's always weather permitting. So,
Yeah, that's always a risky time to come. You never know how it's going to be here.
right. So, how's everything going with you? How's Nashville been treating you?
It's good. I feel like I've been right now October through like December are my busy months because I do a
Mhm.
lot of Christmas shows and I grew up in a Christmas musical family, so I go back home a lot. I'm always traveling back and forth. And I have a song coming out for Christmas. So this is where it starts to get busy. And then with all the holidays on top of that, I'm always behind with Christmas shopping.
Right, right.
But no, yeah, it's been really good. I I'm blessed. I've had a really good run with like my wedding EP and everything.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool because I remember that we had talked about that the last time you were on back in, was it April, I want to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Gosh, and that was when I was stressed with like the few months leading up to the wedding.
right. So
Now we're a few months post wedding.
it's amazing how much difference 6 months brings.
Yeah,
So,
honestly, yes, I know. Looking back at that time, oh, that was a crazy time as well
hmm yeah,
with
absolutely.
personal life.
Yeah. Because I think actually when we sat down, you were like, I want to say it was like the week right before your wedding, or you were going, I want to say. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. That would have been June then. But I do remember that. Yes, it was like very close to my
yeah.
wedding.
Yeah. So, no,
So I
that's
was
really
probably even more stressed than I would have been in April.
right. Right. So, congratulations on getting married. I guess I could
Thank you so much.
officially say that one now.
Yeah,
Uh, so how's you said you got a Christmas song coming out?
I do. I just announced it yesterday. It's coming out November 15th. It's my version of Silver Bells, which I love it. It's more upbeat. I feel like growing up, I've always heard just like the classic, slower, puts you in the Christmas mood, Silver Bells version. So I'm excited to have like a little more fun, upbeat one. So that'll
Nice.
be out November 15th. So I've been gearing up for that release recently.
Nice. And how long has it kind of been in the works?
Honestly, only a few months. I knew I wanted to release, so I released a Christmas album 2 years ago, and I knew I
Mhm.
wanted to. I kind of took a break last year because the album was still doing really well,
Yeah.
and I knew I wanted to release something new this year, and then kind of gearing up for a Christmas 2 album next year. So
Nice.
this is kind of like the preview into that album, but I'd say I got serious about it like in September, like trying to
Yeah.
pick songs, which ones I would like to do or could see myself. I knew it wanted to be a cover.
hmm
Um, I had so much fun redoing the three Christmas classics on my album, so I knew I wanted to redo another one for this release. So
Nice.
yeah, it's
That's
fun.
really that's really cool. And the fact that you said you grew up in a musical Christmas musical family,
Yes.
I'm sure they probably appreciate it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they love it.
Nice. Um, so with that coming out, and obviously as this kind of drops, it'll already be out. What's running through your mind right now um as you're kind of approaching that final stretch here?
It's always a balance of, you worry. I feel like, especially as an independent artist, you worry about like how well it will do. And just promoting it is really tough because you don't have the backboard of people kind of pushing into you to get the word out about it.
Yeah.
Um, So that's definitely a worry of just I hope people even know that my version of Silver Bells is coming out. And the algorithms nowadays are just so wonky. I worry about that a lot. That puts a lot of stress on me. But then it's also a balance of just trying to enjoy the process and just really trying to hone into the fact that like I put so much work into this and I'm proud of the work that I put into.
Hmm.
So who cares if one person hears it or 1,000 people hear it? So
Right.
I'm always trying to kind of find that balance of just wanting it to do well, but also being proud of how well it does.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where it's like it's a weird, delicate balance.
Yeah.
So just yeah, because you want to be happy with it, but you also want it to do well, and yeah,
Yeah. And I think every artist, no matter who you are, feels that to some extent. But as an independent artist, it's definitely more work trying to push it to your audience. So
yeah, absolutely. And so you said you're heading back home to Pennsylvania for the holiday season, is it?
yes. Yeah, it works out nice because my husband and I went to high school together, so both of our families
Yeah,
are back there. So we always go home for the holidays. There's no like splitting time as to like we'll do this holiday here and this holiday here.
yeah.
So it's nice, but I do a ton of Christmas shows back home. My uncle, who passed 8 years ago, he was well known for his Christmas tour, kind of
Mm,
like in the Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia area.
yeah.
And he had a 20-year Christmas tour. Um, 13 shows it consisted of, like from
Oh
the
well.
end of November to the end of December. So I grew up going to those. And then when he passed, we do what we call them remembrance shows. So we do those in honor of him. And I'm kind of standing in his shoes. Big shoes to fill, but I'm
Right.
standing in them for the majority of those shows. So that's
Yeah,
always fun to go back and do this.
absolutely. It's a really cool way to kind of remember him,
Yeah.
right? You know, it's a way to for like how old were you when or you said he just passed 8 years ago?
Yeah, I was 16 when he passed.
Okay. So like were you playing music at that point or were you just kind of more of
I was more so I hadn't moved to Nashville yet, so I was
okay.
kind of playing gigs like in my hometown. Um,
Hmm.
but I was a part of his show to an extent, but not nearly as much as what I am now.
Yeah.
So I was kind of brought up in it with him,
Yeah.
which was really sweet. But yeah, I was playing, just not as serious, I guess you could say.
Gotcha. So it's an actual continuation and it's which is really cool. That's
Yeah, and
cool.
it's cool. The fans, some of them have come all 20 years. So
Hmm.
they have seen me grow up since I was a little baby. They've seen me on stage grow up with him.
Nice.
So they always say to see me on stage now, kind of doing more with the show. Uh, it's really cool. And me also, it's really cool to still be a part of it today.
Yeah. And do you go to a lot of the same like venues that he would? Because I'm assuming he'd go to a lot of the same venues, right?
Yeah, yeah, he would, year after year, he would go to the same venues, but I feel like obviously when you're missing the main star, you're not going to have the same turnout as
Mm-hmm.
would with them. So we kind of had to dial it in a little bit, and we only do four show. We're doing four shows this year,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a couple of them are venues that he used to do, but um, actually the two of them are at my high school because it's a state of the art auditorium, so it holds like 1,500, 2,000
Yeah.
people, and two of the shows are there because, like I said, you don't draw as much of the crowd without the main star, but
Right.
it's still very much in demand around the holidays. Everyone's always asking for them back home.
Fair enough. That's cool. That's really cool. I love it. It's always cool to kind of still, even though he's passed, to still kind of have that connection with him. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. So first off, before we kind of move forward, I do want to thank you for joining us on our pancreatic cancer fundraiser. It's something very near and dear to my heart. So I really appreciate you jumping on and chatting with us a little bit.
I'm honored to be a part of it. I Cancer is unfortunately something that is also very near and dear to my heart and my family. Actually, my uncle, who I was just talking about, he passed from brain cancer.
Oh well.
And then I have a friend of my husband. He went to college with him. He was in our wedding. His mom recently passed from pancreatic cancer. So it
Oh
was
wow.
an honor to be able to speak on behalf of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I obviously we've talked in the past earlier this spring, summer, like whatever time it was. And so when the opportunity arose to bring you back on, I was really excited about it because I felt like we were in a real rush last time to kind of just get it because I didn't know when we'd do it again because you're going to
Yeah,
be dealing with the wedding and the marriage and all
all
that stuff.
married
So
and everything.
yeah.
No, yeah,
Oh,
I'm truly honored. So thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely. So, kind of obviously, Christmas time's a very busy time for you. But when you do, what have you been getting into recently, kind of outside of music to decompress and all that?
Outside of music, I
Yeah,
so we recently bought a house. So we haven't really been doing too much of decompressing.
fair.
We got married. We were supposed to like wait to buy a house, and then the opportunity came and it kind of just fell into our hands.
Yeah,
Um, so we were dealing with that for like a good 1 to 2 months. We're finally settled in. Um, but just I'm very big on like mental health and just making sure like I'm doing my self-care that I need to be doing. So I've been doing a lot of like working out, taking some walks, a lot of spa days, spa nights.
fair.
um, but yeah, that's kind of just practicing. I mean, music is my life. So I feel like even when I am trying to decompress, it's still I'm thinking of ideas of like what to write and stuff and just
Right,
practicing guitar, which
right,
guitar is like a good decompressor. So
for sure. Have you been listening into any new music that you kind of been drawing inspiration from?
Kelsey Ballerini's new album.
Really? You are literally the third or fourth person in this week that has
Seriously.
brought up Kelsey Ballerini.
Well, it just came out Friday, so I imagine that it might be why, but it is so good. And I feel like just on all levels, songwriting, the melodies, the music behind it, it's so good. And I love
Mhm.
her anyway. Like she's one of my favorite artists and she's part of the reason I wanted to be in country music. So, but this album is really good. And I'm just listening to it. I sparked some good ideas.
Nice, nice. Now, are you a full-time musician or do you have a day job that you?
I have a day job, yeah.
Oh,
Music
okay,
isn't paying the bills just yet.
fair enough.
I nanny, so
Yeah.
that I'm blessed with the families that I work for. It's a very flexible job, so if I do have rights or anything, it's very easy to work around my music schedule, which I'm blessed to be able to do. So,
Nice,
but yeah, that I bounce between like 3 to 4 families.
nice. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like those types of jobs always work really well with musicians because it keeps you on your toes a little bit,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I
whether
mean, I feel like if you're in Nashville, you have to be open to a musician working for you if you're looking for a babysitter.
right,
Because 9 times out of 10, a musician's going to be a babysitter for the daytime job.
right. And if you want like honest feedback, them little kids, those 5, 6 year olds or whatever they are, they're going to be the most brutally honest.
Yes, yeah, and they are the best supporters at the same time. They tell me they hate a song of mine or they love a song of mine, but when they do love it, they are listening to it all day long. The moms start
Hmm.
to get very annoyed. Um, but yeah, no, I it's so fun too because that's also another thing that sparks my inspiration too because
Hmm.
being around a kid just makes life 10 times better.
Right.
Um, and just seeing life again through their eyes just always brings some ideas for my songwriting as well.
Nice. That's really cool. That's really cool. So, obviously you've got the Christmas song coming up, but where are you kind of at writing wise right now? Are you like looking at the next steps leading into 2025 or?
Yeah, yeah, I feel like especially independent artists, you have to be at least a few months in advance with your planning. Um, I do have plans. I have a January release that I'm working on. It's actually I went in the studio the other day to finish it up. So that and then I want to do it's like in the works right now. I'm hoping to have either like an EP or even an album, but an album
Nice.
is like scary to say out loud now. So I'm hoping to at least have an EP like springtime, I'd say.
Yeah. Nice. That's really cool.
I've never had an EP. I've always just released singles, so it would be cool to kind of just throw 5 or 6 songs that I believe in and that I love to to my followers.
Nice. I think with an EP, it kind of gives you the opportunity to experiment with different release strategies and just to see if it kind of works. Like if you want to see how like hard copies or like physical media, whether it's vinyl or CDs or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I feel like an EP is a good solid like hit, you know?
Yeah,
So,
it the algorithms nowadays are so, like I said, wonky, and
mhm,
an EP would be a good experience just with trying to promote each song on the EP different ways and seeing
mhm,
what does well and what doesn't. So
yeah.
that's definitely the plan. So we're kind of in the works with that right now.
Nice. One thing I love about music right now is everybody was worried about radio going away. Like, especially like 2 or 3 years ago when we were trying to get into radio, everybody was telling me, oh, nobody cares about radio. And now it's like everybody cares about radio. It's like, yeah. So if,
Yeah, for sure.
if you're not pushing it, you ain't trying. So
Yep.
nice. So kind of looking forward, obviously you'd mentioned the Christmas shows, but are you playing pretty consistently right now or because of everything it's kind of hit or
Yeah,
miss?
it's kind of been on a halt for since before the wedding. So we just passed 4 months. So I've done little gigs here and there,
Mhm.
like little rounds, but not as consistently as I will be in 2025.
Yeah.
Just with the wedding and then the buying of the house and everything, it's just been crazy in my personal life. So it's been hard to kind of balance that with my career. Um,
Nice.
but 2020, the end of this year in 2025, I'm career based, career
Nice.
focused.
Nice. I dig it. I absolutely love it. Your music is so amazing. I've obviously over the last like 6 months or so, I've been like really digging into it a bit and
Thank you so much.
yeah, I think you think 2025 is going to be an amazing year for you. So
I appreciate that. Thank
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
I hope so.
Um, yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like you just never know. Like all it takes is that one song to just kind of grab and away you go, you know?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's crazy how it works today, especially with like TikTok and Instagram Reels. There's so many ways that you can get your song heard. It's just a matter of
Hmm.
how and when.
Yeah. And that's like the weird thing about TikTok is it the one song could take off and do magnificent numbers, and then the next song doesn't do
Yeah,
anything. It's like
gets like
I
300 views. Yeah.
right. It's like I don't get it. Like none of it makes sense to me. So
I
who
don't think
knows?
I'll ever get it. I don't think I'll ever understand it. I think I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wind right now, hoping something catches it.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
If anybody figures out the magic sauce, please let anyone know.
Yes,
Anybody.
please. I'm begging.
And don't make it one of those clickbait funnels where we got to sign up for an email to sign up for a class to give you. Yeah, don't do. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so I really appreciate your time. I don't want to keep you here too much longer because as we're recording it, it is election night and things are I've got the ABC feed going right here and it's looking kind of interesting right now.
What do
So
you?
yeah.
I know.
Um,
I know. It's crazy.
right. But I really appreciate your time. If anybody wants to check out your music, any of that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
Baytay Music, Baytay Music. That's Instagram, TikTok, um, Facebook. I hate Facebook, but Facebook. And then my website is baileytaylormusic.com.
There. Why do you hate Facebook? Let's jump into that one for a second.
I think it may be just a user error, but I can never work Facebook. Sorry, someone was calling me. I don't know if you got that or not, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, no.
No,
Not
you're good.
my
You're
laptop."
good. You're good.
It, like, came across my laptop. Um, I I think because I grew up with Instagram
Hmm.
and my parents have always had Facebook, so they're like, "Why can't you work Facebook? It's so easy." And I'm just like, I'm used to Instagram and, like, now TikTok. So,
Hmm.
I don't know, I just have never been able to work Facebook.
Well, to be fair, Facebook has become a bit of a cluttered mess. It,
That makes me feel better.
yeah. I mean, I use it, but that's just because I've spent so much time growing it that it was like, I'm not going to just walk away from it. Cause like we've got almost 9,000 followers on
Yeah,
Facebook. It's like, I'm not going to walk away from that. So,
yeah.
yeah.
No, if you have that, yeah, I wouldn't either. And, like, my following on Facebook has increased, but it's nice because my Instagram is connected to my Facebook, so I'm still posting on Facebook. It's
Hmm.
just through Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I need to get better. That should be one of my 2025 resolutions. Um,
Yeah.
I need to get better at actually opening the Facebook app and commenting on
Yeah.
there because I
Yeah.
post from Instagram and then forget to go into Facebook and look at
Yeah.
who's interacting on there. So
Right.
2025 New Year resolution.
The one thing that I found out or figured out about Facebook recently is it's very much like Instagram, where like reels and graphics do really well.
Okay.
Except the only real difference is it's a lot easier to hyperlink. Like if you're trying to push out a song, your Spotify link hyperlinks better on Facebook. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know.
because
Yeah,
you know how on like Instagram it just puts the link and then you got to like copy paste it and yeah. So
that is the one thing Instagram I'm mad they haven't done yet, and I don't think they've done it. You can't, like, post a link to click.
hmm.
You have to go to the bio, and it's in the bio.
Hmm.
I want to be able just to put the link and have it be something they can click in the comment
Hmm.
caption. So,
They do have it, but you just have to pay for it. You have to
yeah.
pay. You have to do like a ad pay or something like that. And it's
Oh, see,
like
I didn't even know they had that, but yeah, that's I'm like, "Why can't you just have that?"
right.
Oh, no.
Uh, it happens. There's a method to the madness, but
Yes.
we'll never
For
understand
everything,
it. So,
for
right.
everything.
So, but once again, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Uh,
you.
yeah, and anybody that wants to listen to your new music, we'll have the Spotify link in the description below. All that fun stuff. But once again, really appreciate y'all, and we will be right back with our next guest.